Hi, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Project Lemons to Lemonade. Our next guest has failed many times. He's been successful many times too, but he's learned most from his failures, and we're going to talk a little bit about that. He has achieved what's said to be impossible many times, and he's a master of reinvention, and he ran his first half marathon at age 63. Please welcome Tony McGrath from the Grand Theater. Hi, Tony.
Really good to meet you, Daphne. It's great to be here today.
Thank you for joining us. So you got to tell me first about the Grand. It has such an amazing history, and we have an awesome picture right behind you.
Yeah, actually, so we were built. The construction was completed in 1912, so we actually predate the Palliser, and we were open the same year as the new Stampede. That's really a demonstration of how far back we go. And we were open before the start of the First World War.
Wow.
A long time ago. And the poster behind me is actually Fred Astaire and his sister Adele, who danced in this theatre in 1912. So like they are just a couple of the people of a long list of stars who've performed in here. So we were open as a 1,400-seat vaudeville theatre, state of the art at the time, one of the biggest theatres in Canada. And we've had Sarah Bernhardt, Paul Robeson, Fred Astaire, the Marx Brothers have performed in here. And as we were talking a minute or two ago, we've Nellie McClung actually had a women's voting rights rally in this very theatre. So we got a long history of performing arts in here. We've been a hotbed of politics, and we were one of the founding venues of the women's voting rights movement in Canada. So we're very proud of that.
Yeah, and I was like, this is Calgary, yay!
It is Calgary. If you step into our lobby, you could be in Vienna or Prague. It's so beautiful.
Yes.
And not very many Calgarians know that much about us or that we're here, so we're trying to change that.
I love it. Yes, we got to bring our history and culture and make it more prominent.
Yeah, it's here, not in Europe.
Yes.
Here in Calgary, so.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Like Calgary?
Yeah.
Fred Astaire?
Yeah, a beautiful theatre we have now, and we seat 420 people, and we're a culture house of contemporary performing arts. So, this last year we've had a really full programme of opening this theatre up to all Calgarians. So we've had everything from the Filipino and Nigerian communities to tap dance back in the theatre and comedy. So a really full program in the last year. And coronavirus, I'm afraid, brought us to a shuddering halt on the 13th of March this year. So, yeah.
So we're all figuring out how to navigate that. And so, Tony, you have had a lot of setbacks and failures, as you were mentioning, in your life. Can you share some lessons that some of our entrepreneurs might be able to learn from, some takeaways? What can we learn?
Sure. Well, I'm actually going to talk on 2 points here. The first one is, what have I learned from my latest job? Because I've never been in the arts and I've never run a theatre. And I kind of ended up here by accidental design. And I employ here almost exclusively artists. And I like to term them as our artpreneurs.
I like that.
So when they're building a performance, they have this ability to pivot almost within seconds. And my experience in the startup world, and I've worked in a lot of incubators and accelerators, is that very often entrepreneurs will drive the bus off the cliff. They'll stick with it. It doesn't matter what facts are laid in front of them, what opinions they get from experience, they'll drive the bus off the cliff. Artpreneurs can shift from contemporary dance to tap dance in minutes. And they'll sit there and they'll say, this isn't working, let's change it. Well, I've learned that as a real lesson in my business life in just the last 18 months. And I'm, I guess you could call I'm late stage career now. If you could call my life a career, I'm not really sure if that's the right terminology for it. From a personal level, failure seems to be a big topic at the moment. Everybody's talking about, how you learn from failure, and failure is inevitable. I've almost always failed because of my own ego. almost always. So I had a really bad habit of not surrounding myself with sage wisdom. I didn't really want to listen to more experienced entrepreneurs or business people. I knew better. And almost always I was aware of the numbers and the facts in front of me. But because I had a passion and a belief in what I was trying to do, I carried on regardless. So you could have you could put as many red flags in front of me, told me X number of times, I don't think that model is going to work. But I had passion and I had belief. And I hear this a lot from young entrepreneurs, particularly, this is my passion. Well, for me, my passion at times has cost me a lot, both emotionally and financially. Mm-hmm. Also, it has brought some of my best successes. So I think the lesson for me is I've got to learn the difference between sheer bloodied-minded stubbornness and rational passion.
Yeah, I think all entrepreneurs need that. So how do we do that? I totally relate to what you're saying, where it's like, we got to move forward, we can do this, but then how do we see the signs? Because we're just so passionate and driven. Sometimes it's like we're being told the signs, but clear in our face, and we are not seeing them at all.
So something that I think is absolutely vital is mentorship. And finding a mentor whose business ethics and business attitude and life attitude and the way they lead their life is attractive to you. Find that person and spend time with them. And I've done that many times, both in my personal life and in business. And generally the conversation will be, I start with opening a statement like, I think. Mm-hmm. My mentor generally says, well, there's our first problem right there. And to actually spend time with them. So the message is driven over and over and over again. Right. Around, am I doing the right thing? Do I just need to make a pivot, or is this dead?
Yes.
Because that has been essential in my life and in business. My wife is Marcy Craft, and she's the program director for an organization called Intergen Connect in this city. It's an incredible venture. They have a capital fund there too. But what they are doing in a very successful way is matching veteran entrepreneurs and business people with high growth entrepreneur businesses, not startup, but companies that are already seeing a level of success. I haven't seen a program like that before. And I think even if you're not involved in that, go take a look at it. Mentorship is absolutely vital. You need a sounding board. And there are occasions where you need to listen and sit back. Yes. And I think, a lot of people surround themselves with experience, but they don't listen. I'm a big fan of the advisory board, not necessarily the board of directors, and you can have both. Yes. But an advisory board is putting together a group of people that fill the gaps in your knowledge and skill. Mm-hmm. And then you have more than one mentor. So, I would advise thinking of an advisory board in your business. Get in touch with an organization like Intergen Connect. Mm-hmm. That they have got grey hair in their database that have built significantly big businesses in this country. These are not unqualified business coaches who've never run anything. And I'm not in any way detracting business coaches, but they have built and failed and built and failed. They've been in the trenches. They've been hurt.
And got the right hair from it.
You earn white hair or no hair.
Yes, totally. Yeah. Thank you so much, Tony. Thank you for joining us today.
My pleasure. And it was wonderful to talk to you. And greetings from the Grand. And we're just in our intermission at the moment. We hope to be back real soon.
We look forward to visiting you again.
Thank you, Daphne.
Thank you.